Shalom, everyone. I'm Brother Doug with the Awakened by Yahuwah Assembly in Yahuwah Almighty and Yahushua Messiah. Today, we are going to be starting a Torah portion that our sister Kristen Musap actually shared a PDF with me for. So we're going to be starting today. Our first recording will be probably from Genesis 1 to 2. If we read any more chapters, we'll see if we have enough time, but probably the first short portion of this will be Genesis 1 to 2. So here we go. All right, so Genesis chapter 1, I'll be reading from the Lexham English Septuagint. I'll have my Targum on Kalos handy with me side by side with it. So here we go. It says, in the beginning, Elohim created the heavens and the earth, but the earth was unseen and unprepared, and darkness was upon the deep. I really like how they say unprepared and unseen. It kind of gets rid of the gap theory nonsense, the way it's sometimes worded in the King James. So I like what I see so far. And the spirit of Elohim rushed upon the water, and Elohim said, let light come into being, and light came into being. And Elohim saw the light that it was Tob, and Elohim made a separation between the light and the darkness, and Elohim made the light Yam, and darkness he named night. And there was evening and there was morning, the first Yam. And Elohim said, let there be a firmament come into being in the midst of the water, and let a separator be in the midst of the water. And so it happened. Okay. And Elohim made the firmament, and Elohim made a separation in the midst of the water that was under the firmament, and in the midst of the water that was upon the firmament. Okay. Verse 8. And Elohim named the firmament heaven, and Elohim saw that it was Tob, and there was evening and there was morning the second day. So evening first, then morning. Okay, verse 9. And Elohim said, let the water that is under the heavens be gathered together into one assembly, and let the dryness appear. And so it happened, and the water under the heavens was brought together into their assembly, and dryness appeared. And Elohim named the dryness earth, and the assemblies of waters he named seas. And Elohim saw that it was Tob. And Elohim said, let the earth sprout fodder plants, sowing seed according to kind, and according to likeness, and fruit-bearing tree making fruit, whose seed is itself in the tree, according to the kind in regard to likeness upon the earth. And so it happened. Yay. All right. We're in verse 12 here. And the earth brought the forth fodder plants, sowing seed according to kind and according to likeness, and fruit-bearing tree making fruit, whose seed is itself in the tree corresponding to its kind upon the earth. And Elohim saw that it was Tob, and there was evening and there was morning the third day. And Elohim said, let the luminaries come into being in the firmament of the heavens for illumination of the earth, and rule the days and nights, and make a separation in the midst of the day and in the midst of the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years. Now, just to make a little note here, and I know other brothers and sisters have brought this up, okay, seasons here is not what we're thinking of as seasons, okay? The Hebrew word there to the Greek would be moedim, which means appointed times. So that would be referring to Yahuwah's appointed times. So basically it's talking about the calendar, okay? And let them be for illumination in the firmament of the heavens, so that they might give light upon the earth. And so it happened. Okay. And Elohim made the two big luminaries, the big luminary to have authority over the day, and the little luminary to have authority over the night, and the stars. So the stars are not the little luminary, but they are with the little luminary ruling the night. And Elohim placed them in the firmament of the heavens so that they might shine upon the earth and rule over the day and the night, and to make a separation in the midst of the light and in the midst of the darkness. And Elohim saw that it was Tov. And there was evening and there was morning the fourth day. And Elohim said, let the water bring forth living, creeping things and birds flying above the earth in relation to the firmament of the heavens. Okay. And so it happened. And Elohim made very large fish, and every life of living, creeping things that the water brought forth according to their kind, and every bird with wings according to their kind. And Elohim saw that it was good. What I want to take a quick look at here is the word that they're using for large fish. So I've seen in other translations it says monsters. So I just want to kind of, like the Young's literal translations will say great monsters that are in the sea, which would kind of make sense with Leviathan. Might be hinting to the creation of Leviathan on that day. Yeah, even the Catholic Bible here, the Good News Bible says, so Elohim created the great sea monsters. Yeah, that's probably more accurate. All kinds of creatures that live in the water, all kinds of birds, and Elohim was pleased with what he saw. Yeah, I kind of like the Good News Bible there, being a little bit more honest with what type of sea creatures. And Elohim baruched them, saying, increase and multiply, and fill the waters in the seas, and let the birds multiply upon the earth. Okay. And there was evening and there was morning the fifth day. Okay. So, not to put too much exposition or commentary here, but we see that the stars would have had to have been created, obviously, with the sun and the moon on the fourth day, right? So, in my opinion, that means the angels were created on the fourth day. They were not pre-existent with the Father and the Son. They did not exist before the world was created. And you'll see once we get to Genesis chapter 2 how there's confirmation on that. So just wanted to put that out there. So let's see here. And Elohim said, let the earth bring forth living creatures according to kind, quadrupeds, creeping things, and wild animals of the earth according to kind. And so it happened. And Elohim made the wild animals of the earth according to kind, and livestock according to kind, and all creeping things of the earth according to their kind. And Elohim saw that it was Tov. And Elohim said, let us make humankind according to our image. Yeah. So notice how the image is singular, but we have a plural of our. Mm-hmm. And according to our likeness, and let them rule over the fish of the sea and the birds of the heavens and of the livestock and all the earth and all the creeping things that creep upon the earth. And just to note, in one of the Targums known as the Jerusalem Targum, it would say in that verse that the word of Yahuwah created mankind in his image. So just saying. Okay. All right, so we have the birds of the sea, the birds of the heavens, the livestock, okay, creeping things that creep upon the earth. All right. Verse 27, and Elohim made humankind. He made him according to the image of Elohim. He made them male and female. And Elohim baruched them, saying, increase and multiply and fill the earth and gain dominion over it and rule over the fish of the sea, the birds of the heavens, all the livestock and all the earth, and all the creeping things that creep upon the earth. And Elohim said, look, I have given to you every herb that has sowable seed that is upon all the earth, and every tree that has sowable seed in its fruit will become food for you, and for all the wild animals of the earth, and for all the birds of the heavens, for every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth, that has a soul of life in itself, and all the green fodder will be for food. And so it happened, and Elohim saw everything that he made, and look, it was very tov. And there was evening, there was morning the sixth day. Notice how it says everything he created was very tov. We got to keep that in context, even with Satan. All right, he is not bad yet. Okay, so this is something we need to keep in context, because Satan would be considered part of everything he created up until this point. So we got to keep that in context. So we're going to start Genesis chapter 2. We're now getting to the sixth day here. The heavens and the earth and all their ordination were completed. Elohim created his works that he did on the sixth day. And that's one difference in the Septuagint that reconciles a near contradiction in the Masoretic. Okay, so he finished everything on the sixth day, so he would rest on the seventh. And on the seventh day, he ceased from all his works that he did. Elohim baruched the seventh day and made it set apart, because on it he ceased from all his works that Elohim began to do. This is the book of the origin of the heavens and the earth when they came into being, on the day when Yahuwah Elohim made the heavens and the earth. Okay. And every green plant of the field before they came to be upon the earth, and every herb of the field before they had grown up. For Elohim had not sent rain upon the earth, and there was no human to work the earth. But a spring came up out of the earth and watered all the face of the earth. And Elohim formed the human from the dust of the earth and blew the breath of life into his face. So that's his ruach. And the human came into being as a living soul. Yahuwah Elohim planted a paradise in Eden toward the east, and there he placed the human that he formed. And Elohim further thought up from the earth every tree beautiful to the sight, and tov for food, and the tree of life in the midst of the paradise, and the tree of knowing what is known of tov and evil. And if you have a word for word, Breton Septuagint would say the tree of learning the knowledge of good and evil. Okay. But a river goes out from Eden to water the paradise from the place it separates into four sources. The name of one is Pishon. This is one encircling all the land of Havilah, and where the gold is, but the gold of that land is beautiful, and the carbuncle and the green stone are there. The name of the second river is Gihon. This is the one encircling all the land of Cush. The third river is the Tigris. This is the one going opposite the Assyrians. And the fourth river, this is the Euphrates. Yahuwah Elohim took the human that he formed, and he planted him in the paradise to work and to keep it. And Yahuwah Elohim commanded Adam, saying, from every tree that is in paradise you may eat for food, but from the tree for knowing tov and evil you will not eat from it, and on whichever day you eat from it you will surely die. Okay. And Yahuwah Elohim said, it is not tov that the human is alone. Let us make for him a helper like him. And Elohim further formed from the earth all the wild animals of the field, all the birds of the heavens, and he led them to Adam to see what he would name them. And anything, whatever Adam named it as a living soul, this was its name. So this is actually saying animals have souls. Just saying. Adam gave names to all the livestock and to all the birds of the heavens and to all the wild animals of the field Yet for Adam, no helper resembling him was found. So Elohim laid a trance on Adam and put him to sleep, and he took one of his ribs and filled up the flesh in the place of it. Yahuwah Elohim built the rib that he took from Adam into a woman and he led her to Adam. And Adam said, now this bone is from my bones and flesh from my flesh. She will be named woman because she was taken from her man. For this reason, a man will leave behind his father. Notice it says, for this reason, leave behind his father and his mother, will cleave to his wife, and two will become one flesh. So that is Genesis chapter 1 and 2. Let me see here, see if we have enough time for chapter 3. Yeah, Mom, could you read chapter 3 for us?
Sure. Now the serpent was more crafty than any of the wild animals.
Mom, you're not at the beginning of 3.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
The fall of man.
It should say the two were naked, both Adam and his wife. They did not feel shame. Oh, okay. I see what happened. No, you're right. Go ahead. You're right. My Bible kind of had it as part of verse 1 of 3.
Okay.
That's my fault. Go ahead.
Of the wild animals, Yahuwah Elohim had made. He said to the woman, did Elohim really say, you must not eat from any tree in the garden? The woman said to the serpent, we may eat fruit from the trees in the garden, but Elohim did say, you must not eat fruit from the tree that is in the middle of the garden, and you must not touch it, or you will die. You will, yeah, I thought it would say you will surely die, but then it says you will. Okay, I'm sorry. Going off here. Okay, you will not surely die, the serpent said to the woman, for Elohim knows that when you eat of it, your eyes will be opened and you will be like Elohim, knowing good and evil. Mm-hmm. When the woman saw that the fruit of the tree was good for food and pleasing to the eye, and also desirable for gaining wisdom, she took some and ate it. She also gave some to her husband who was with her, and he ate it. Then the eyes of both of them were opened, and they realized they had been naked, that they were naked. As they sewed fig leaves together and made coverings for themselves, then the man and his wife heard the sound of Yahuwah Elohim as he was walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And they hid from the Yahuwah Elohim among the trees of the garden. But the Yahuwah Elohim called to the man, where are you? He answered, I heard you in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, so I hid. And he said, who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree that I commanded you not to eat from? The man said, the woman you put here with me, she gave me some fruit from the tree, and I ate it. Then Yahuwah Elohim said to the woman, what is this you have done? The woman said, the serpent deceived me, and I ate. So Yahuwah Elohim said to the serpent, because you have done this, cursed are you above all the livestock and all the wild animals. You will crawl on your belly, and you will eat dust all the days of your life. And I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your offspring and hers. He will crush your head, and you will strike his heel. To the woman he said, I will greatly increase your pains in childbearing. With pain you will give birth to children. Yeah, thanks, Eve. Okay. Your desire will be for your husband, and he will rule over you. To Adam, he said, because you listened to your wife and me from the tree about which I commanded you, you must not eat of it. Cursed is the ground because of you. Though through painful toil, you will eat of it all the days of your life. It will produce thorns and thistles for you, and you will eat plants of the field. By the sweat of your brow, you will eat your food until you return to the ground, since from it you were taken. For dust you are, and to dust you will return. Okay. Adam named his wife Eve because she would become the mother of all the living. Yahuwah Elohim made garments of skin for Adam and his wife and clothed them. And Yahuwah Elohim said, the man has now become like one of us, knowing good and evil. He must not be allowed to reach out his hand and take also from the tree of life and eat and live forever. So Yahuwah Elohim banished them from the Garden of Eden to work the ground from which he had been taken. After he drove the man out, he placed on the east side of the Garden of Eden cherubim and a flaming sword flashing back and forth to guard the way to the tree of life.
All right. Thank you, Mom. Let's see here. So there's some things I want to talk about here. Let's see. The one verse a lot of people say, some people would believe that the serpent was promising them that they would become like Yahuwah. That's not what he was saying. If you look even at the Septuagint, it instead of a capitalized God, it has lowercase gods. So it's actually talking about the angels, and I'll just prove that by showing you guys. I think I have my Kindle on here. Let me show you guys something here. Even the Targums show that this is not referring to Yahuwah himself, that Satan was actually referring to himself, that they would be like him and the angels if they took of the fruit and ate. So let's see here. Let me go to, hold on a sec. Let's see here. Where's my Kindle here? Okay. And I think, let's just see here while this app is loading up here. Okay. All right. So let me go back. All right. Let's see here. So where I got mine? Okay. Okay. Let's see here. Got. Looking for. Where's my stuff? Here we go. So, for example, if we go to the Targum of Jonathan here, and okay, so we go to Genesis 3, which my mom just read. Let's see here. It was verse 5, I believe. 3 verse 5, according to the Aramaic Targum of Jonathan of the Torah, it says, for it is manifest before Yahuwah that in the day you eat of it, you will be as the great angels who are wise to know between good and evil. And this makes sense because a lot of times in the scripture where you see lowercase gods instead of uppercase, it's referring to false gods.
Right.
It's referring to the fallen angels. So what the Targum is saying is not off. It actually makes a lot of sense, rather than they're going to be like the Father. I doubt Satan would be that stupid to say that. So, having knowledge of good and evil doesn't make you the Father. So, kind of makes a little bit more sense in my mind. So that's the Targum of Jonathan. I mean, we can go to another Targum here for a second witness of this, but let's see here. Okay. Just for the heck of it, where's the, I hate how they organize some of my stuff on here. They put everything scattered. Here we go. All right, so let me try this here. Let's see here. This is another Targum. I'm just gonna show this actually makes sense why the Elohim in the second part of the verse is lowercase in most Bibles. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see here. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. I guess the this Targum doesn't have it. It's omitted. Okay. All right. Let's just see in the Unkelos one that I have physically in front of me what it says. It says, okay. Okay. 3:5. Yeah, it says in the Targum Unkelos, which is more word for word than this Jonathan one, which I just put on the screen. It says, and the serpent said to the woman, not to die will you die, for it is manifest before Yahuwah that in the day in which you eat of it, your eyes will be open and you will be like the cherubim as the great ones, knowing good and evil. So it's referring to a certain class of angel, the cherubim, in the Targum of Unkelos here. So that's a second witness that it's not saying. A lot of people have misunderstood and thought that it's referring to being like the Father. So I just wanted to show that. Let me see here. Let me go back to you guys here. I see the Gibsons have their hand up. I'm gonna let them go. Go ahead, guys. Sorry it took so long to get to you guys.
No worries. So I was just noticing how in the beginning, Yahuwah was the one saying that this is good, and then for the first time that we see something called good, and it wasn't Yahuwah calling it good, is when woman said, the woman saw that the tree was good for food. So that was the first thing that Yahuwah didn't say was good, but that someone else said was good.
Yeah.
It was the folk man.
It's the first case of calling evil good.
Yep, and it seems like there was something about the appearance of it, the lust of the eyes, you could even say. I know some versions of Genesis will actually say that it was contemplating the eyes. It was pleasing to the eyes. So you I also see, to piggyback off of Sister Zakiah and Brother Jeff, it's like the first time you see the lust of the eyes and the lust of the flesh there, where it's like it looks good, and it looks appealing. Rather than obeying Yahuwah, we kind of go after stuff that just appeals to our senses, our eyes, and sometimes what looks good on the surface is not going to be good for you. So, yeah.
I've got one more.
Good point. Yep, go ahead.
I had to re-raise my hand and I didn't know if you'd see it or not because it was already raised. Here, I'll lower it right now before I forget. That so we live in Northern California and there's like a lot of new age kind of belief systems going on up here. And the promise that the devil makes to Eve about her eating from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, or what we might call enlightenment, right? Is exactly the same promise. It says, you shall be as the gods, and they just call them ascended masters, right? And that's like their goal. And it's like New Age teaches that exact lie, still to this day,
Yeah. You could say the worship of the fallen angels started in Genesis 3:5 in a way. The worship of Satan and his cohorts really started there. He made it look like it was such a great thing to be like him and his buddies. You'll be like me. You'll be like the seraphim, the cherubim. You'll be like us. You'll have secret knowledge. And to your point, that's what's taught in new age that you can be your own deity if you ascend, if you have this experience of all this gnosis, and that's what Gnosticism is based on, is the idea that knowledge gives you divinity, and stuff like that. So that was a good point, Brother Jeff. Good point. So I think we're going to continue on. I noticed, Mom, your translation paraphrases a lot.
Yeah.
It like, I was trying to follow, and the NIV paraphrases a little
Yeah,
too much.
and I'm having trouble
I'm like,
following you too. So.
Okay, let's see here. So I think I'll finish up for you. Let's see. I think what we'll do is we'll stop this recording right here. I don't want these recordings to be too long, and then we'll restart a new recording. Just so everyone, that was Genesis chapters 1 to 3. Please stay tuned. We're going to be finishing our Genesis portion of our Torah portion. We're going to be going on to the other books we have for today's Torah portion. So please stay tuned. We'll be right back.